Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Wednesday, September the 19th. Dr. David Newman is with us, RoseHeart Hypnotherapy Success Center in Jefferson City. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Before we came on, we were talking about somebody that we worked with years ago out at KOMU who had
tinnitus.
What's it called? Tinnitus.
It's ringing in the ears. Yeah.
Ringing of the ears.
Yeah.
And I remember it was David, and he came down and talked to you, and
we did a session with him, and that's all it took.
With hypnosis.
Yeah.
And you got rid of ringing of the ears.
Yeah, he didn't have it anymore.
How does that happen?
Basically, when he was in hypnosis, I took him into the control room in the mind and had a soundboard right there that he was very familiar with, and I just had him turn down all the sound.
He used to run audio on our show.
He used to run all the audio, and he came to me. He said, "This is getting so loud that it's affecting me being able to control the sound on the show, and I have to be able to hear that." And I go, okay. So he tuned it down, so the only thing that disappeared was just the ringing in the ears, that frequency tuned down.
What you did, you put him under hypnosis, and he imagined that in his brain was an audio board?
Well, no. What I did is I put him into hypnosis and then took him into the subconscious, but it was in the form of a control room, like he had over at KMOU. So he saw himself walking through the door. Everything looked real familiar to him. And he sat down at what was like the soundboard, and he tuned down the sound on just his ears.
In his mind.
In his mind.
In his mind.
Yeah.
And that took care of it.
It took care of it.
All right. That's interesting, because I never knew how you did that. But anyway.
But it worked.
That's the important thing. What I wanted to talk today, and I know this is a subject you said we covered some time ago, but I think it's worth repeating: the power of positive thinking.
Extremely powerful.
And the power of negative thinking.
Yeah.
They both have tremendous power, don't they?
Very, very much so. It's like with sports teams. Lots of people here play sports. Have you ever heard a coach go out there and say, "Okay, kids, I want you to go out there and have fun. Don't worry about winning or losing. Just go out there and have fun. And if you lose, that's fine." No, because you're already planting that suggestion of losing. Okay, they go the other way. Win, win, win. And they're planting the suggestion of winning. And, that just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you constantly think negatively, things are going to be negative in your life.
If you think positive, you stand a much better chance of positive things happening.
Yes, happening.
And the power of the spoken word. The spoken word has a great deal of power, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And as a lot of your listeners have heard me talk about, we do a lot of vibrational therapy, where we're actually dealing with the vibrations. And we can map it out when a person speaks and see the exact vibration of each word. There was a really interesting study. I can't remember the man that did it, but he was Japanese. And what he did is he spoke words to water and then froze the water, okay? And then took small little samples of the water and examined them under a very powerful microscope to see what the water crystals would look like. And it's amazing. Any of your listeners want to go to the library, look that one up. I know I haven't given you much, but it's
So a Japanese
scientist
spoke words to
water. He took distilled water, okay, deionized distilled water from the exact same source, put them into like test tubes, set them on a desk, and he spoke a word to them like murder, hate, love, admiration, things like that. And what he did is he saw that the actual crystals of the water shifted when they were frozen. They totally shifted.
So when you're saying something like this, to me it says that everything is interconnected.
It is.
Everything that we do, everything that we say, everything that we think, it's all interconnected.
Well, sure. I mean, we've always heard about chemistry. Oh, I just don't have good chemistry with this person. For whatever reason,
right.
I just can't get along with them. Why is that? Well, one of the most prominent theories is we have what's called an aura. It's an electronic field around our body, and that our frequency is so different than that other person's frequency that they clash.
Exactly.
And they repel.
Sometimes when we were doing the show and doing this program, you meet so many people, and every once in a while somebody will walk into a room
and you feel it.
And you feel it, and you just don't. You just feel we may not hit this off very well. And you're saying that's because our auras are clashing?
The electronic field around our bodies, yeah. And we can measure that. We could actually photograph it and with
I know. You can feel it, too.
Oh, yeah, you can feel it. Yeah.
Because we did a segment with Boone Hospital many years ago. They were doing not healing touch, but they were massaging the
therapeutic touch. Yeah.
Therapeutic touch. Where they massage the aura around your body.
Yeah.
And even though they were not touching your body,
you could feel it.
You could feel it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can put my hand up and I can feel over my head the aura that's...
Yeah, you can feel
sometimes it sticks out more and sometimes it doesn't.
It does.
If you're listening and you don't believe it, try it. Go sit in a quiet place and try to feel your own aura. We all have it. And
we all have it.
The trees have it too.
Oh, every living thing has it. Grass, everything. It's amazing.
Okay. So, we were going to talk about the power of positive thinking, but all of this is interconnected.
It is all interconnected, yeah. And the interesting thing about the Kirlian photography is that was actually created by the Russians. At that time, it was the KGB. And what they did with it was they would go out and photograph parking lots with this particular camera. And what they found is that the images of all the cars that were in the parking lot were still there after everything was gone. So much so that they could actually read the license numbers. Then they would run a check, get the license number, they'd find out who it is that they needed to go to that had that car, and then they would find ways to attempt to turn them into assets.
You're kidding.
Nope, that's the way it actually came about.
My goodness.
Yeah. Fun stuff that you learn on Radio Friends with Paul Pepper, huh?
Really? It's absolutely amazing. There's so much that we do not know, so much we do not understand. But the one thing I thoroughly believe is if we think positive, good things happen. If we think negative, we attract negative.
We attract the negativity.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If people want more information on this or they want to talk to you, they can contact you, Dr. David Newman, where?
Give us a call on our toll-free number, 888-604-9997, and I'm extension 3.
Okay, and that's RoseHeart Hypnotherapy Success Centers.
Right, or our website, www.mohyp.com.
Okay, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Really interesting to chat with you, and it really is true. And plus, if you get up and you smile, you feel better too.
You do.
You feel better. That's another psychological thing.
Yeah, it starts popping endorphins in your brain.
Okay,
that's
so just get up and smile, think positive, and God, you're gonna own the world there. Tomorrow, Mel Zelenik will be with us. Drop me an email, something you'd like to hear or see. pepperpmissouri.edu. Bye-bye.